Hello, Aquarius. Good to see you. This is your love and relationship reading for March 2019. As I'm shuffling the cards here, just be aware that it is Mercury retrograde. It started March 5th. It'll be going on for the next couple of weeks. The last week in March, you'll be out in the clear. But your cards you're reading for this month might reflect some of the things going on with Mercury retrograde. So just keep in mind, if you never heard of this before, it simply means Mercury, the planet of communication, is going backwards. And so communication will be wonky. Plans that are made might fall through. If you made plans to go out or travel, those plans might, something will come up, flights will be canceled, emergency expenses. So it's good not to have arguments or say something that you might regret later. Also, you want to avoid signing contracts or trying to make any long-term commitments because by the time Mercury retrograde is over, things will end up in a different place. So all I can tell you right now is just don't take everything at face value. Keep your own counsel, pull back a little bit. And if it seems like you and your partner are having disagreements or communication issues, and sometimes it can actually mean that the past it's sort of like a Groundhog Day. Things from the past sort of start playing out again. You have a sense of deja vu. So if you're broken up with someone, your ex might actually be thinking about you and rethinking certain decisions that they made. So Mercury retrograde can be helpful because it kind of pulls you back to address issues that were not resolved and still need to be resolved. So let's go to your cards, and you have a number of interesting cards here. You do have Lovers in the middle. This is your root card. This is the theme. And so Lovers is a wonderful energy, of course. It's that wonderful sexual eros, being attracted to someone, feeling like they're your soulmate. Just a word of caution, Lovers does not mean long-term commitment. It's more of the physical eros, that sexual attraction, that this person seems destined to be your soulmate type of feeling, but it's not. Tons of things get in the way of Lovers, and it can get pretty complicated. So just take that on board, especially during this Mercury retrograde. But this does seem to be about, the dominant theme for your reading does seem to be about two people apart, having a disagreement, but eventually they're going to make their way back to each other. That Lover's energy is going to be strong throughout. Another thing I want to point out is your major arcana. The way they're laid out here is really interesting. You do have your Lover's card in the center, but in your future, you have 3 major arcana cards, nothing but major arcana. So there could be some very big changes, especially with Mercury retrograde. Whatever you started with at the beginning of March, by the time you get to the end of March, nothing is going to be the same. So you do have in your future, the Oracle is saying, you've got the moon. This is a warning. Be aware of danger. Don't get blindsided. Be very careful. Listen to your subconscious. Listen to your gut. Then you have that Emperor. The Emperor is the ruler. The Emperor lays down the law. So I'm getting the feeling that in the relationship, there's going to be a big obstacle that you're not going to be able to get around. You and your partner are just going to have to deal with it. And it could actually have something to do with your partner, job issues, ex-wife, ex-husband issues, money, financial issues. And then when the World comes, the World is actually the last card in the major arcana. and it means you're sort of up to the next level in this video game of life. Because it's the last major arcana card, there are 22. The Fool is 0. So you go through this whole cycle, you get to the world is saying, yay, you're ready to move on to the next level. And you have no idea what's going to happen then, but it's about closure. So I get the feeling that this Emperor is just going to handle things. The energy of the Emperor is reorganization, laying down the law, abiding by the rules, establishing boundaries. And maybe you might not be happy with that, Aquarius, but I feel like you are the type of person who would love to have rules and boundaries, being an air sign. So your future will have some really big changes. All 3 cards in your future are major arcana. So very slow going in the month of March. You have that 4 of Wands, which is fire, the card of celebration. But whoa, your King of Swords, which is associated with Aquarius, it's the significator for Aquarius in this particular tarot deck, which is the Witch's Tarot. It is upside down. And that kind of tells me a lot about how you might be dealing with Mercury retrograde, because with these swords, your King of Swords is upside down, meaning that you're very angry, very vindictive. You're just out of your element here in this relationship. Then you have this Ace of Swords, which is the card of clarity and new perspectives and making a decision. And so you're trying to, it feels like you're trying to find your balance again. But also, I don't think you like being out of control. Most air signs don't. I'm a Libra, and I'm just constantly overthinking and analyzing things. And so with this King of Swords reversed in the past energy, we go from celebration to you pulling back, and then we have a 6 of Pentacles. This is the generosity card. It's about give and take, and maybe your partner took advantage of you. And it could actually deal with money issues, but I get the feeling that overall, for some of you Aquarians, you might have felt taken advantage of, that your partner is always doing the taking and you're the one always doing the giving, trying to help your partner out of a jam, you know, and you're kind of fed up with that. So it's important that you don't allow people to take you out of your boundaries and have you doing things just to maintain the relationship. It also feels like you're the more responsible one. So coming out of the past, it looks like you've got some baggage here, like something really pissed you off that your love interest or partner did, or some unfortunate news. When we get here, you have a 10 of Pentacles, and once again, it could mean the party's over. Sometimes the 10 of Pentacles is being too caught up in prosperity and money. It is a happy time. It can mean the good life, but it's not an emotional card. It's strictly physical material. So seeing that this is surrounding the Lover's card, 10 of Pentacles on one side, but then Ace of Swords, you get clarity. So the context of these cards depend. No one card determines the meaning of the entire deck. They can change a little bit based on what the context of the cards are. So that 10 of Pentacles, happiness, prosperity, wanting to live the good life. But then you have to sort of get perspective on, okay, maybe I should pull back. I'm giving too much. This person is taking a lot of my resources. But also, I think the reason why your King of Swords is reversed and why you might be pissed off is that your partner is not taking responsibility in the relationship. And you're giving a lot, but your partner is just sort of squandering these opportunities when they're with you. So a lot of attraction and this person latching onto you for some of you. But I feel like you're thinking things through. I'm looking at what you're doing here. you're pissed off, and then this Ace of Swords comes and you try to just get to the truth of the matter. That's another interpretation of the Ace of Swords. If you look at the Justice card, you'll notice that she's holding up that one sword. She's making a decision. She's being fair. So air signs always find a way to think this through and try to solve problems. And sometimes air signs, especially Aquarians, can be a little skittish here. So when we come here to the future, remember what I said. You've got this moon. And the moon is associated with Pisces. And this is a warning. Listen to your gut. Move carefully. Look before you leap. And then the Emperor kinds of, I feel like your energy is wrapped up in the Emperor, where you try to reestablish your boundaries so that you can feel safe and not feel someone's taking advantage of you. And then you have the World, where you're moving on to a new way in this relationship. And you could be breaking up with someone. You might have to. Your outcome card is the Seven of Wands. And so that Seven of Wands, you'll notice that the man is in a defensive posture. There's 6 wands in front of him. He's fighting back. This means thinking by the seat of your pants. When an unexpected crisis comes along, or crises, and you're like, I'm going to tackle this problem head on. I'm going to solve it. And this is coming after the World. You're going to be, like I said, when Mercury retrograde ends, you have no idea where you're going to land. You could begin the month in a relationship, and by the end of the month, you'll be out of a relationship. And so this again is going to bring a little bit more challenges for you in March in the relationship, more things to work out with your partner. But the 7, even though the 7 is a number of reflection, revision, rethinking, it looks like you're going to come out of this pretty well, because it's also next to that Ace of Swords. And once again, the tarot is sort of predicting with the Emperor in the World that things are going to be rearranged. There are going to be things to work around, but overall, they're not going to be deal breakers. So that's your reading, Aquarius. But I want to thank everyone for, I've gotten some new clients, new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your support and all your comments. I'll be posting a non-tarot video in another week, and this is addressing just some regular housekeeping issues as well. But thank you guys so much for your support. I'll see you next month. I do have a $15 special for personal video readings until after Easter, so check that out. Go to tarotbyair.com. I wish you love and light. Stay safe, stay happy, be good to yourself, and I'll see you soon.